Hello? Oh, this is not a cell phone. This is a calculator. Oh, what a corny joke. Welcome again to my video discussions or to my channel, Math is Fun channel, where you can learn a lot of things about mathematics and you will enjoy how or what is the beauty of mathematics in our life. And this video will help you appreciate that math is not a difficult subject, but it's easy, fun, and interesting. So this is an educational video to help the students or even the people who are viewers in this channel to really improve their performance skills in mathematics. Okay, so let's learn math and let's appreciate mathematics in this channel. So before anything else, I would like to shout out or flex the people out there. Hello, students. Hello, Davao City National High School. Hello, Santa Ana National High School. Hello, Trans. Hello, Mabini National High School. Hello, Catalon Pequeño. Flex ko lang yung co-teacher ko na si Jen Barbasan. She's a very intelligent math teacher. And also, Nakila Russell. Not Nakila Russell, but Mom Russell Mapa from Santa Ana National High School, and even to my one and only Mom She in Math Garden, Mom Jocelyn Gonzalez. Thank you for supporting me or supporting my videos about mathematics. So, are you ready? I hope everybody is ready to listen to our next topic or next video discussion. So now, since you are there already, please watch the video before you subscribe, and do not forget after watching the video to subscribe my channel and to click the yellow bell button so that you will be notified once there is another video that will be uploaded in my channel. So that's nice and great, right? Another video discussion to learn a lot of things in mathematics and also in physics. I am doing physics classes also. Wow, amazing. Application of math is it is very obvious in physics. So let's not focus on that. We will focus on our topic or our main concern this in this video discussion. So I'll share first the screen or the PowerPoint presentation that we have here for today's video discussion. Wow, this is so exciting. The word rationalizing and conjugates. Wow. Have you ever experienced this kind of or these words in mathematics or terms rather in mathematics before? If not yet so, this topic is meant for you. So our topic will be about or all about rationalizing radicals and its conjugates. So in this topic class, we will focus on how are we going to rationalize rather radicals, and even how do we get the conjugates. And we will also define what is rationalizing radicals and what are conjugates. So before anything else, without any more charmos or char, let's go right away to our definition. What is conjugate or what are conjugates? How do we define conjugates? So it is said that radical conjugates are two expressions of the form. Again, radical conjugates are two expressions of the form a plus b square root of c and a minus b square root of c. So that is the form, or these are the two forms of radical conjugates. So I hope you can follow the forms. Please take down note of the form. Conjugates have the property that when you multiply them, you get a rational number. Therefore, shall I say, the radical is gone. So again, conjugates have the property that when you multiply them, you get a rational number. The radical is gone, totally gone. That's why, or that is the use or the importance of getting the conjugates in simplifying rational expressions, especially in a fractional form. So another concept, or applying rather the concept in a given example, as you can see on the screen. Let's say we are going to get the conjugate of the following. Example, we have 5 plus uh, 3 square root of 7 and 5 minus 3 square root of 7. So we have 5 plus 3 square root of 7. Its conjugate is 5 minus 3 square root of 7. Again, if you want to get the conjugate of 5 plus 3 square root of 7, then its conjugate is the opposite sign of 3 square root of 7, which is 5 minus 3 square root of 7. So if you get the conjugate of this is the opposite sign of 3 square root of 7, which is this one. So that's the concept of conjugate. So now let's see the importance of conjugate. So again, in our given 5 plus 3 square root of 7, the conjugate there is 5 minus 3 square root of 7. So let's see if when we multiply them, they'll give a rational number, as I mentioned a while ago in the definition. So you have it. So as you can see, 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times negative, kindly look at the blue arrow. Okay, that is negative 15 over square root of 7. Then 3 square root of 7, multiply it to 5. That gives us 15 square root of 7. And as you can see there, 3 square root of 7, apply this. We're doing in the FOIL method, okay? We are just going to check, or we're just checking if when we multiply the conjugates to a radical expression, the result will be a real number or a rational number. So we have it 3 square root of 7 multiplied by negative 3 square root of 7. That gives us negative 9 square root of 49. Then, like radicals, this will be eliminated. So what will be left are 25 and 9 times 7. Where did we get 9 times 7? 9. Of course, we just copy negative 9. Square root of 49 is 7. So 9 times 7 is 63. So 25 minus 63 is negative 38. See? So when you multiply the conjugate, it will help the radicals turn into a real or a rational number. So that's the use or importance of conjugates. So again, how do we get the conjugates? We will just get the opposite sign of what? Of the second term. What I mean is just copy the whole term and then we will just change its sign into its opposite. Just like here, 5 plus 3 square root of 7. Its conjugate is 5 minus 3 square root of 7. So the second term becomes negative to find its conjugate. So that's the concept of conjugate in the form of, remember, in the definition. So now, that's its use. So how do we use, of course, conjugates is very helpful in rationalizing the denominator or rationalizing the radicals. So let's do first the rationalizing the denominator. How do we do the rationalizing the denominator? So again, let's define first what is a rationalizing the denominator. So this is the process, class. This is the process of removing a radical from the denominator of a fraction. Again, rationalizing the denominator is, or it means, or it is a process of removing. Say with me, removing. It is the process of removing a radical from the denominator of a fraction. So that is what we call rationalizing the denominator. So another thing also about its process, to do this, multiplying the fraction with a radical in the denominator by 1 as a fraction, where the numerator and denominator are either the radical factor that will produce a perfect square in the denominator, radical, or the expression that is the conjugate of the denominator of the fraction to be rationalized. So in order for us to apply the steps about rationalizing the denominator, again, our goal here is to make or to produce a perfect square in our denominator. That's the reason why we rationalize the denominator, because in algebra, we don't consider it as in simplest form or simplified already. about expression when, about rational expression when there is still a radical, a radical sign in our denominator. That's why we use the rationalization or rationalizing the denominator so that we will be able to simplify the expression or radical expression. Okay? It's fine that the numerator has a radical expression or radical sign as long as the denominator has no radical sign to consider it as its simplest form. That is why we are going or we're trying to produce a perfect square in our denominator so that radical sign will be eradicated. So that's the purpose of rationalizing the denominator. So let's have an example so that you'll be able to experience and of course grasp the concept and experience the steps or yeah, the steps or the concept of rationalizing algebraic expression. So are you ready? I know you're all ready since a while ago. Since the day you subscribe in my channel, you are always ready. So let's have this. 4 square root of 6. So 4 square root of 6, what I mean 4 over square root of 6 will help us to rationalize by multiplying the again, our purpose here is to eradicate the radical sign in our denominator and to produce rather what? To produce a perfect square expression or term in our denominator. So we multiply both numerate. This is how we do rationalizing radical or denominator. Since we are going to eradicate or to yeah to cancel the radical sign, so we have to multiply both numerator and denominator by square root of 6. So 4 times square root of 6 will give us rather 4 square root of 6. Square root of 6 times square root of 6 is square root of 36. So 4 square root of 6, square root of 36 is 6. So that gives us an answer. So we can simplify 4 and 6 by dividing both sides by 2. So this becomes 4 becomes 2, 6 becomes 3. So the answer is 2 square root of 6 over 3. Okay? Very easy, right? Yeah, very easy. Next, 10 over cube root of square root of 4. So our task in here is, our challenge in here is what will be multiplied to your numerator in denominator to arrive or to come up with a rational number in your denominator. So what do you think? Cube root, okay? So we have to multiply it by the rational. To rationalize, we multiply cube root of 4 squared. Why cube root of 4 squared, sir? Why not of cube root of 4 only? Imagine that a cube root of 4 can be written as 4 to the power of 1/3 in a fractional form so that you will understand it easily. So what will be multiplied to this expression to have or to make it a rational number? As I have said there, it's cube root of 4 squared. Why cube root of 4 squared? Because when we have cube root of 4 squared, that can be written as 2 over 3. Remember, this is the index. The index is the denominator in a radical sign or in a fractional exponent. So 4 squared, so look at 4 times 4 to the power of 1/3 times 4 to the power of 2/3 by applying the product rule of the exponent. So copy the base and add the exponent. 1/3 plus 2/3. That gives us 4 to the power of 3 over 3, which is equal to 4. See, when you multiply the cube root of 4 by cube root of 4 squared, this becomes 4 or rational number. So I want you to remember that one, okay? How do we do it? So the concept of a fractional exponent will help you identify in here in rationalizing the denominator to this will help you to identify again and on what expression that we can multiply to your both numerator and denominator in order to make the denominator a rational number. So that is the purpose of that. So we have it, as I mentioned, our to rationalize it, we multiply both numerator and denominator by cube root of 4 squared. So we have it here, by multiplying, the result will be 10 cube root of 4 squared. This one multiplied by this is the result. As I mentioned a while ago, this can be canceled, which is equal to 4. I already solved this one using fractional exponents a while ago. And then 10 cube root of 4 squared. So cube root of 4 squared, you can have it 16, or your answer could be 5 cube root of 16 over 2. Since you cannot simplify 5 and 2, so this is our final answer. So careful, okay? Use the fractional exponent, especially when you rationalize the denominator of cube root. It's fine with the square root because we don't have a problem in square root. What will be the denominator having a square root sign will be right away the expression that will be multiplied in both numerator and denominator. But that is not applicable in the cube root or in a denominator having a cube root. So you can use the concept of a fractional exponent. So I hope you'll be able to grasp the concept. This one using the conjugate, 2 plus square root of 10. What is the conjugate of the denominator? 2 plus square root of 10, the opposite, right? That's 2 minus square root of 10. So multiply both sides by its conjugate. As you can see there, multiply this the conjugate, 2 minus square root of 10. We got it from the denominator. Again, we will base our conjugate and our rationalizing to our denominator, because again, in algebra, once there is a radical expression in the denominator, that is not considered as simplest form. It's fine with the numerator. Okay, take down note of that. So we have it multiply negative 3 times 2. We have it negative. Yeah, you can just have this kind of answer if you wish to. Not yet. It must be simplified. Correct. Thank you for the reminder. So we have it, multiply it. So as you can see, for a while, just highlight. So 2 times 2 is 4. And then square root of 10 times square root of 10 is square root of 100, which is 10. Okay, square root of 1 is 10. Then we have negative, so negative 10. That is the shortcut in multiplying the conjugate. As what I've shown a while ago, when you multiply the conjugate, it's like you are multiplying using the sum and difference of two squares, where you multiply the first term and then the second term and follow the negative sign. Okay, so that your solution will be like little, not long, short rather. So our answer will be 2 minus square root of 10 over 2y. Why is that so? Because we multiply negative 3 times 2. We have negative 6. Distribute, using distributive property of multiplication, we have plus 3 square root of 10. Correct? Negative 3. Negative 3. Okay, then we have it all over negative 6. So negative 6 divided by negative 6 is, so it can be reduced, right? Or shall I say, we can reduce this one as 2, right? Yeah. So negative 6, or you can have it negative 6 divided by 6, negative 6 plus 3 square root of 10 divided by negative 6. So this one becomes positive 1 plus square root of 10 over 3 divided by 6 is negative 2. Or you can say 1 minus square root of 10 over 2. I guess there's something wrong. Okay, not something wrong. over 1 minus square root of 10 over 2. So that is the answer. 1 minus square root of 10 over 2. Or you can do in a simple way. This is the manual thing. The simple way which our solutions here. What did our solution here? We simplify, or yeah, we simplify it first. 3 and 6. This becomes 1. This becomes 2. So you can just have it 2 minus square root of 10 over 2. So which is our answer. So you can do it in this way. Or you can have it 1 minus square root of 10 over 2. So you have two options. It's up to you. Okay? So that's it. Solving radical equations will be our next topic. So that's how you rationalize and conjugate. That's the importance between the concept of rationalizing denominator and also getting the conjugate to rationalize or to simplify the radical expressions. Again, you can only use this concept when you deal with a fractional form of radical expression, or if the denominator has a radical expression, a radical sign. Okay, so that's it. So I hope you enjoyed the show. You enjoyed the video discussion that I am sharing right now. And of course, do not forget to subscribe. Please watch before you subscribe and share this one or share this video to your friends and families and also lovers or crushes and all, so that they will be able to learn also a lot of things in mathematics. Oh, always remember, math is fun. Math is not a difficult subject. It's easy, fun, and interesting. So please always subscribe my channel and watch that before you subscribe. Then share it to your friends. I hope to see you in the next video. It's my pleasure to serve you and to share my knowledge about math in all the people who are watching this video. Have a good day.